Sally here, Max, Elliot here, Crampton. Jalian here, Nico here, Wells here. Andrew is excused today, so is Tom. Olivia, Laurel, Moberly, Rosie's excused, Django here, and Dallas here. All right. Somebody screwed up with the cables. It took me a while to get started. Today I'm gonna start talking about chapter 7. Futures and options on exchange rates. By the way, on Wednesday, we're not going to meet in class because of there's something going on campus. Parking is not going to be available. So I will do an offline lecture continuing with futures and options. Pretty much everybody was given the option of doing alternate versions of lectures. So if your professor doesn't tell you anything, remind them. We did talk about forward exchange rates. These are basically contracts that determine what the exchange rate will be for a transaction that will take place in the future. Example, buy 1 million USD against, let's say, Japanese yen on February 15th, 2024, but rate is determined today. So I go to Nico and say, I'm gonna buy $1 million from you, and I will pay you in Japanese yen, but you will get your dollars, you will get your yen, and I will get my dollars on February 15th, but we're gonna agree on what the rate is gonna be today. For example, 142.50. Spot exchange rate maybe lower, same or higher than the forward. For example, let's find out what the spot exchange rate is for yen. Today it's 146.51. Let's get something started to figure out what's the proper way of calculating a forward rate. What is fair which means arbitrage free. Forward exchange rate. Now, I'm gonna generically think of a domestic foreign exchange rate. The currency that's listed as the first currency, we're gonna call it domestic. The second one, foreign. Suppose you want to buy let's call it 100 units of the domestic currency on some future date. For example, domestic could be dollar, foreign could be yen, right? There are two ways you can achieve this. A, buy the domestic currency in the forward exchange rate market, whatever the rate is. And B, borrow foreign currency now. And I'm going to put this borrow in quotation marks. You don't actually have to borrow it from a bank. If you already have that, you're borrowing it from yourself, right? By paying borrow the foreign currency by paying the foreign interest rate use the foreign currency to buy some amount of domestic currency now and invest that at the domestic interest rate until you need it. In the first one, the currencies change hands only at the future date. Let's say that future date is February 15th. On February 15th, I'm gonna go to Max and say, give me $100. He says, okay, here's your $100. And I'm gonna give him the appropriate amount of yen that we agreed upon today. That's the forward transaction. On the other hand, I need dollars on February 15th. If there is no forward market, I'm gonna do what's called the money market forward. I'm gonna actually buy the dollars now using the foreign currency I have or I borrow. Even if I have it, by buying the domestic currency now, I'm giving up the interest on it. So it's as if I'm borrowing. I'm gonna buy the currency now, but I don't need it right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the bank at the domestic interest rate until I need it. So how much domestic currency I need to get now? Well, that's simple. I'm gonna need 100 units of domestic currency, right? But I need its present value. So I'm gonna let's call that R domestic.